Please welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strada. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos and leave commentaries and also educate each and every one of ours, you guys are the real MVP. So guys, group numbers of FBI task force has actually been sent to, or is about to be sent to Memphis to tackle one of their first assignments, just as was promised. Over the week, arrangement was like, we're gonna send some group of first men to the black community to start with the cleansings of the crimes happening in the black community. Anyways, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
Memphis. It's on now. Have you heard? Did you hear the announcement? They put together an FBI task force. And guess where that task force is heading? Our way. Straight for Memphis. It's on now. All kidding aside, it's gonna be popping. So the FBI task force is headed to Memphis due to the crime rate, which no one can deny. But I think a lot of innocent people gonna get caught up in what's finna head to Memphis. So mothers, fathers, aunties, grandmas, granddads, you might want to sit your young people down and have a talk with them, because it's just got serious. When that task force hits Memphis, anybody looking cockeyed gonna get it. And at the same time, they're passing laws that are taking away any accountability for any police officer in the line of duty. They're getting rid of organizations that investigate police abuse. They're getting rid of those. So if you don't have the department or the organization to investigate, how do you investigate? If they're no longer holding them accountable, what's going to prevent them from living out their fantasies at your expense? So, Memphis, it's going to get interesting. But for those parents in Memphis, for those families in Memphis, know you have some good young people in your family, some hard-working, some intelligent, some very promising future young people in your family, or even some misguided ones that just need a little more time to get their act together. You might want to be pulling them in very closely. And these young kids coming out of high school, whatever college plans or plans you had, I would be moving forward and jumping ahead of schedule, trying to get the hell out of Memphis, because you don't want to get caught up in what's finna head our way. So like I said, it just got real. And if there are any black Trump supporters in Memphis, thank you for what you're about to unleash on your own communities, because it's finna get real ugly. And yeah, we've had some really serious complaints about the violence in Memphis and the crime in Memphis. But how often do good people, innocent people, get caught up and going after the criminals, where he fit the description, or well, the car looks similar, because they're only looking for our skin tone. The unique features don't matter. All they see is the skin tone. So Memphis, families in Memphis, I'd start making some summer plans to get my young people the hell out of here, because they're coming for them. Memphis is going to be the blueprint of what they plan to unleash across this country in black communities. And there are private prisons, domestic and foreign, with empty beds waiting, salivating, waiting. Looks like they're going to get started in Memphis. So, I do know that the tone in Memphis, let's say, it's going to be devastation on both sides. Because truly, these young people in Memphis, they are not their ancestors at all. So looks like it's finna start in Memphis. So Blacks for Trump. It would be really eerily ironic if one of y'all experience what's heading this way. Urge it in by your vote. Interesting, isn't it? The thought. It's heading your way, and it's just about at your doorstep. And could this possibly be a time where your decision or the choice you made truly comes back to bite you in the ass? I guess we'll see. Anyway, I'm praying for God to have a covering over the city of Memphis and protect our young people and protect our African American community altogether. I think some people have been waiting for moments like this, and they're headed this way. So, maybe time to keep your kids inside. Maybe time to keep a closer eye on your loved ones. Yeah, I think you might want to be prepared. I'm here to let you know I didn't want you to be blindsided. So, the report has been put together, and the FBI task force, Memphis, is his first stop. Do with that what you will. But before I get out of here, I would like to ask one little simple question, and I'd like to direct it to my Blacks for Trump. Is it great again yet? Asking for a friend.
FBI Director Kash Patel this weekend about Memphis. On national television Sunday, he called the city the homicide capital of America and announced plans to send a task force to Tennessee to tackle the issue. ABC 24's Scott Mattis is here to break it all down. Scott, good evening.
Good evening to you, Pepper. Kash Patel also said he did not know Memphis was actually the homicide capital of the United States until he took his oath of office just a few short months ago. And now he says he'll be sending federal agents right here to put an end to the violent crime. Now, I can also tell you, he said this: I didn't know this until my confirmation process, but Memphis, Tennessee is the homicide capital of America per capita. Now, didn't know that. We have a problem there. We're now addressing it. We are rolling out one of our task forces to the state of Tennessee. That's what FBI Director Kash Patel declared on national news just yesterday. And Monday morning, that declaration is reverberating across the city of Memphis. This comes after the Memphis Shelby Crime Commission told ABC 24 News last year that the rate of major crime, I should say earlier this year, fell by nearly 9%, 8.8 to be exact, this year when compared to the first quarter of 2024. Now, Memphis City Councilman, and he's also the chairman, J.B. Smiley, tells me Monday he welcomes the FBI's help if they keep their word, but he also says getting those guns and those switches off the streets should be everyone's biggest priority.
The laws that are being put forth just lead to a series of guns in our community, which ultimately leads to lives lost. And that's what's more troubling to me.
All right, Memphis Mayor Paul Young gave me this statement this afternoon. It reads in part, MPD has always collaborated with federal agencies on addressing violent crime, and we're encouraged by any effort whatsoever that brings more resources to Memphis. We look forward to learning more from our federal law enforcement partners. Now, Pepper, I can tell you in talking with people all afternoon into this evening, that's welcome news. Live in studio, I'm Scott Mattis.
I was a little bit slow at connecting the dots at what's going on in Memphis, Tennessee, and why FBI Director Kash Patel suddenly said Memphis is the homicide capital of the United States and is sending an FBI task force to the city. It's not random. You see, Elon Musk just opened a huge data center in Memphis, and apparently it is spewing toxic material into the environment. And I guess some of it is affecting an area of Memphis called Boxtown. And in my research, it appears that Boxtown was an area where formerly enslaved black people settled. So it's having detrimental effects on the people health-wise. So there's a big struggle going on with this data center being there. So out of the blue, here comes Patel, probably authorized by Trump, sending an FBI task force to Memphis, supposedly to combat crime. I think it's there to protect Elon Musk's interests. There's always another side to the story. And this is just where two things intersect. Number one, environmental racism. You know how the black community is always on the other side of the tracks, near all the industrial and chemical plants and everything else. Well, this is the modern day version of that with this data center that's being powered in a manner that is harming the community, particularly the black community. The mainstream media are absolute disgusting failures. Behind me is my book, 1/8 of a Man, Hate for the Skin I'm In. You can check that out on Amazon.com. But this is not getting the coverage it should be nationally. Matter of fact, I barely, if I ever heard anything about this. These two things are not coincidental, that Elon Musk is in a fight with the black community in Memphis over his data center, and Trump and Kash Patel sending FBI task force to Memphis, using our own tax money and those people's tax money to fight against them when they should be protecting them. The Department of Justice should be investigating Musk and that plant as opposed to going in to suppress the citizens. It's just disgusting. This is the most egregious, most racist administration in modern history. They spit in our faces, and they do it in broad daylight, and the mainstream corporate media lets them get away with it without alerting the public.
Rural Rising, top of the morning to you. Now listen, I hear that Kash Patel is on his way to Memphis with the FBI. Now Kash, I agree that something needs to be done about the crime in the city of Memphis, but you don't start with the victims. Why do I say that the youth and young adults are victims? Because the crack baby is 40 plus years of age. The crack baby's children are now between the ages of 15 and 25. They were born with genetic imbalances because they were born addicted to substances that were engineered in military laboratories across the United States of America and was dispersed and distributed into the black community for social engineering. Chemical, social, and genetic engineering. This is chemical and biological warfare. And now it has peaked. These children cannot give you what they don't have. Unfortunately, they are not acting. They are the victims. They did not land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on them. Who in the hell in their right mind would want to be like that, would want to live like that? With emotion, with an emotional imbalance. With anger issues, nonverbal, autism, ADHD, all the things that studies show that children who are born addicted to substances have birth defects. Drugs and alcohol causes birth defects in children. Drugs and alcohol causes birth defects in children. Drugs and alcohol cause birth defects in children, Cash. So you're not going to start with them. You're going to start in your office. You're going to start with your higher ups. Because the war on drugs was a war on black people, and everybody knows it, and it's in black and white in your office. Look for the paperwork. Look for the file. You're not going to start with them. These children cannot give you what they don't have. They are victims. They have genetic links, genetic markers that are broken, that are missing due to those birth defects that were caused by social engineering via the federal government. The war on drugs was a war on black people, and you know it. Social engineering. And this is not a new thing. Now the chickens have come home to roost. Now you guys are uncomfortable because when you go to the gas station, these kids are killing you. These kids are robbing you. I told y'all what was going to happen. I said it. I told you. I have witnesses that will tell you that I've been saying this since I was a child. And I was told to be quiet and stay in a child's place. Well, I'm an adult now. I said it was going to happen. I saw these children. I saw them being born without souls, without any light in their eyes. Angry. Babies. Babies come here angry. I knew they were not normal. Cash, that is the problem. And if you really want to solve the problem, if you really want to find a resolve, you're going to have to implement mental health rehabilitation programs. You are going to have to create spaces for these children to thrive in. You're going to have to put programs in the cities, major cities all across America, for these kids to have something to do, recreational facilities that strengthen their brain, teach them, brain exercises and how to think, to heighten their emotional IQ and things of that nature. This is not on them. And black people, I will say this to you, and this is my warning. Just because people bring things to your table don't mean you got to pick it up and consume it. Just because they pick it up and bring it to your table don't mean you got to pick it up and consume it. You understand me? It is a choice. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve, for no man can serve two masters. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. No man can serve two masters. Black people, you don't have to choose that. And when you choose it, no, you're not a victim. You are not a victim. Okay? You don't have to choose it. Cash. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities of wickedness in high places. You're going to have to start in the high places because these people are victims. My 16-year-old mother was a victim, struggling with two children, a teen mother who had children by two adult males, left to fend for herself and her children at the age of 16. She was a child. She was stressed out. She was exhausted. And an adult put that drug in her hand, and her life and ours were never the same. Lucky for me, she didn't get on drugs until after I was born. But my cousins and a lot of other children that I know were not so lucky. Were not so lucky. And I saw it every day. I saw it every day. Y'all gonna have to do something else besides locking them up. You will not fill up your jails with black bodies like you did our parents, like you did our aunts and uncles, like you did some of our grandparents. You will not do that. You will not label them as criminals and thugs. They are the victims. Yeah. They cannot give you what they don't have. Y'all have to understand this. You're not going to tell me, a being of sound mind and body, that children who you all say, according to your statistics, who can't read beyond the 3rd grade level, can create drugs from scratch, that can create fentanyl. Fentanyl, if you inhale it, if you touch it, is deadly. I think it was like 0.6%. If you touch it, it's deadly. You're not going to tell me that these kids have a laboratory in the ghetto to create these drugs. You're not going to tell me that black people have broken into a military base and stole all this military grade weaponry and equipment. As we know it, black people have not invaded military bases. Not yet. So why in the hell would I, a person of sound mind and body, believe that these kids are getting these guns on their own? Y'all brought this shit into our community and you're going to clean it up. You will not point the finger at the victim. I do agree that something needs to be done, but do not criminalize them. You will not criminalize them. They are the victims, and I stand for them. I will die on that hill for these babies. My 17-year-old son was murdered at the hands of teenagers who were addicted to substances, whose parents are addicted to substances. So you see the trickle-down effect? Cash, y'all owe me restitution, reconciliation. You owe the black community an apology. The war on drugs was a war on black people. If these kids can't even read, how the hell can they create drugs from scratch? Get the hell out of here. This is social engineering. This is to control our birth rates, our population. Because you know that there's power in numbers. And Elon had already told y'all the next God is coming out of Memphis. So it's mighty funny. Now the FBI wants to go to Memphis. Now, and he putting supercomputers in Memphis of all places. Why not New York? Why not California? Why not Atlanta, one of the major hubs? Because the gods reside in Memphis. Those are some special people. They don't know it. They don't know it. But the people in Memphis are very powerful beings. They don't know it, though. You do. Y'all do. Y'all already had this information. And that's the very reason why you brought these drugs to the community, to affect the community. You inflicted this upon this community. You're not going to tell me that a group of children who are illiterate, according to your studies, can create drugs from scratch. And as it stands, black people ain't robbed no military base. Not yet. And we already have testimony that y'all brought this stuff in here and dropped it off into our communities. Children have already testified that they saw white men come into their communities in Chicago and drop off crates of military grade weaponry. Ex-Klanmen testified, have given interviews that they did it. This is a setup. This was a setup. But you will not win. You will not win.
Firstly, lovelies, it is beginning to make sense right now. It is beginning to make a lot of sense right now with the plans and everything that has to do with this present administration. Just like one of my favorite TikToker, Karen, like she's an amazing lady. I've been following her for quite a long time right now. Just like she said in her speech that I put up here, I think this is actually the right time for people that looks like me to low, because these people that they have sending there, even if things are happening in Memphis, like maybe crime and all of that, but you know how they do it. They might actually end up not the people who commit these crimes. They might end up going after people who never have anything to do with the crimes. So far, you are someone that that have the same skin color as me. So I think black people really need to calm down right now. Call upon your young ones to be your teenage ones. There's this stage that really happened last week or something. A black man decided to avenge his sons. It happens that this son of his, who happens to be a teenager, was found with a stolen car. So after which some group of people, police people saw him and was like, stopped him. He pulled over and he started running. I could actually imagine what it feels when, police people get in contact with people that looks like me, especially if you're a black man. So this started running, and what they did was to TPO the guy at his back. The father got so furious, so angry, so agitated, and he decided to go and avenge. And all of a sudden, he avenged, and he actually, people the wrong person, right? Why am I saying all these stories? Why am I, trying to refresh back with what I have staged before? What I'm trying to say is that these people will actually use every opportunity to come for people that less like me, and term it, oh, we are actually doing our job. And no matter how many court cases that you go here and there, the justice might end up not coming. So it is very, very important to actually avoid situations like that. And that is why it's actually advisable to call upon our younger brothers, our sons, our brothers and sisters, and let them know that, okay, there is something on ground. So everybody really needs to behave, not going out very late at night, so that you won't give these people the opportunity to do what they, and secondly, there have been some complaint from this said Memphis, where Elon's AI generator has been bringing out some smoky stuff that is so harmful to human consumption or human inhaling it. These guys have done nothing to fix that complaint. All they'll have to do, or all they decided to do, was to allow some group of, into the said area and do what they know how to do. So everyone needs to be very, very, very on alert, careful, staying low, not going out at night, not giving anybody room to persecute you because of your skin. They say that when you are alive and healthy, that is when you have the ability to keep on fighting. So why not lay low and you know and don't allow the devil to use you through some people who never liked you. That's first. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And lovelies, if you have not been following me on my ballistic gist, do a girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Also, we are on TikTok right now. We are doing some short reactions. And lovelies, I will see you when I upload the next one.